I need to be at like 160.
I'll talk to her.
Okay, so let me make sure I'm following here. We're budgeting about 25 to 30 on the rehab. We're feeling good about a 270 back end. You think she's got a little room to come down. Tell me, what was her, she's trying to buy a condo, you had explained last time.
We were looking at a condo, but they wouldn't take an offer on a contingency, but they said they would consider a contingency if we had a strong deal put together with the investor. Because I flat out told her I had an investor that's looking at it. But that was back on Saturday, and that property is gone. So we have to start over.
Okay.
I don't want her to be homeless either, so you'd have to give her some occupancy.
I was going to offer that. I was going to tell you, if it's helpful, we could probably give her some occupancy. We'll need to hold some proceeds back, but we could give her some occupancy.
Okay.
How quickly cash would we need to close? That would be really appealing to her. How fast would we need to close?
End of the month.
End of the month. Okay. So that's what, 3 weeks or so?
Yeah, that gives everyone time to kind of breathe, collect their thoughts, and I have to do a little hand holding with her. I'm not going to lie to you. She doesn't do anything fast. I'm not going to lie to you about that either. She's a sweet gal. I'm watching out for her behalf, but at the same time, I'm trying to keep her in the real world. And I told her flat out, the issue I'm having at 230 is you have one that just sold not too long ago, completely updated at 270, and we can't compete.
Yeah, there's one on the market at 240 that's not selling, and then there's I don't know if you saw this one. It's
a ranch.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a tri-level.
There is a comp real close by that sold at 145. A ranch, 1,100 feet, 2.5, that just sold for 145. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed this, but that comp that we like, that flipper bought that for 90 back in 2022.
I'm sure he did. Look, I live by a code that my dad taught me. You're as good as your last deal. I try to price it right. I try to be fair to both sides of the fence. I told you also straight up front, I don't understand a lot about the wholesaling end of it, so I'm listening very carefully.
Okay.
And I'm getting an education along the way. So without paying for tuition, I'd like to see us do more deals together, so on and so forth. But I don't want to give away the farm if I don't have to, and nobody does.
Right.
By the same token, I'm not looking to break the bank because I want our relationship to grow.
For us, it's always about that. If we don't get this deal done, I'd rather create a connection with you that we can do business ongoing from now on, because I rely heavily on you you're out there talking to sellers every day.
And I'm with you, and I hear you.
Well, here's the challenge I'm having with this is, I've got to factor in all these numbers. So if I buy it, I got the rehab, but I also got closing fees when I buy it, closing fees when I sell it, commissions when I sell it. I got financing cost, and all of that just adds up.
I don't know what your margins are, so and I guess at this stage of the game, it's probably none of my business. I'm just trying to figure out
right. I'm just telling you that I've got a formula where we back into the numbers that make sense, and if we get it at that, great. If not, I get it. I would want you to get the best you can for your seller and everything too. I need to be at like 160 to get it done.
Oh, yeah. I can almost guarantee. I'll run it past her.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee she's going to slap it down. And at 160, she's going to turn to me and say, well, are you going to do it for no commission? Well, that ain't happening. And this has been ongoing now going on to almost 18 months. So I've already earned my cut.
What if I helped with commission? Would that be helpful?
Talk to me. I'm listening. I don't know what that means. You have to say it in English for me. You would pay the commission instead of her?
Well, let's talk about what that is. But yeah, I could do that.
3%. I'm not greedy. I'm not an asshole.
Ideally, I want you to win on both sides. So you get commission from her, commission from us.
No. Hold it. Don't worry about that. If we're going to 160, I would be satisfied taking 3% plus $500 for our admin fees and call it a day.
And what's that? Where's my calculator? What's 3% of 160?
4,800.
Okay.
I did mortgages for 20 years.
Okay. Okay. I think I could do that.
Well, I don't know if she's going to go for it. I'd have to run it past her. I'd have to have something from you. Now, it's still on market as we speak. I don't know if that makes a difference to you or not.
Well, what do you mean?
It's on the MLS.
Yeah, but if we get something done, you'll just mark it pending?
No, I would just mark it sold.
Can you?
Done, we're going to close, and I got the documentation. I'll just pluck it and pull it.
Let me ask you this: the best thing that you could possibly do would be to withdraw it and not mark it sold. Can you do that?
I don't think she'll go for that. And I don't feel comfortable doing that until I know I got the bird in my hand before I worry about the two in the bush.
What if it's non-refundable earnest money? Like significant?
Now you got to be listening. How much are we talking?
$5,000?
Make it 7,500. I think I can pull that off.
Let me send my guy out there before we go full non-refundable. But you know what I mean? Like
wait, non-refundable.
Non-refundable.
And we're doing 160. You're paying the commission, buyer commission. And she get 30 days occupancy.
If we do 30 days, I need to hold back.
Holding back some money is not going to be an issue.
Yeah, that way she's motivated.
Enough money to plunk down on the new place.
Yeah.
I advise her a little bit because I have some finance background. I said, finance some of it, put some in the bank just in case. You never know.
If she's looking for a way to earn some money, tell her to lend her proceeds to me. I'll pay her 8 to 10% on her money.
But she still has to have a place to live.
Well, I know whatever's left.
I would be a candidate for that,
Why don't you and I talk? Seriously, I pay 8 to 10% to my private money lenders, secured by real estate.
8 to 10% secured with real estate?
I mean, I'll go up to 12% if the amount's high enough. You just line up the conversation and we'll do a Zoom and get it done. But
take that into consideration. I want to focus on the here and now. So we're looking at 7,500 non-refundable EMD, 160 purchase, 30 days occupancy. I know you'll hold back. That's okay.
Yeah, hold back will need to be like 10 grand. Is that fine?
And that shouldn't be an issue because that still gives her 100 grand to put down on the new place and 50 grand to stick in the bank. The buyer's going to pay my 3% commission.
Exactly.
I'll talk to her.
If she says, let's do this, Steve.
Some of the other yuck yucks have been talking to me.
What's that?
That's a lot closer than some of the other yuck yucks that talk to me.
Why? Where are they at?
They're coming in. They want to steal the property for 120, and I actually hung up on one guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I've made those low offers too. Well, let's do this. If she says yes,
I'll pull it off the market. You'll give me what I need to run past I'll ask my broker what I need in order for me to pull it off the market, and we'll put this together.
Okay. All I would ask is if she says yes, I've got my guy on the ground there. And how hard is it to get him in there just to do a quick walkthrough?
If it's in the next day or two, it shouldn't be an issue at all.
It'd be super fast. It'd be tonight or tomorrow morning. It'd be right away.
10-ish tomorrow?
I got to confirm with him, but this shouldn't be a problem. I'll double check with you. But
you confirm with him. I will talk to her.
Johnny will send you a text.
At dinner, and we're going to go from there. I'm going to tell you, it's not going to be easy sale.
I know.
Because in her mind, she's got a higher figure, and obviously everyone thinks they own the Taj Mahal. But out of investors that I've been talking to so far, you seem to be the most fair. All right, Jerry, I will talk to you guys later. Johnny, thank you for calling me back.
Yeah, man.
I'll be in touch with you in the morning.
All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, bye, Steve. Okay, questions. What questions do you guys have? Takeaways.
So how'd you know that you were able to pay hard earnest money?
What happens when the earnest money goes hard? The seller can now make some decisions on her next steps with a lot of certainty because no one's walking from $7,500 earnest money. Like, I'm going to come through and perform. Whereas if the earnest money is $500, she can't really plan her next move with any kind of certainty because what if I fall through and she's back to square one? So I was trying to find a way to make this offer compelling without changing price, but rather terms. So a lot of times we think price is the only thing we have to negotiate. It's not. We have terms. Terms are how quickly you can close, what kind of earnest money you can put down. Is it refundable, non-refundable? Things like that can really strengthen your offer. So he's using the terms of our offer to go back to her now and pitch, this deal. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. What happens if you can't do that? Well, there's ways around that, like borrow it. You can borrow earnest money, or just you can't do it. Like you just can't. It just takes that off the table for you, and it just puts you in a little bit of a disadvantage. If you can do it, it puts you in a much more advantageous position. Okay. Any other questions, guys?
Does her staying in the house for 30 days change anything on the resale side?
When someone's living in the house and they're trying to do their next move, it's common for them to ask for post-possession. So that would mean we would close. She would get all her money and then have 30 more days to move out. Now, you don't want to do that without holding some money back. So we would hold back like 10 grand and we would tell her, you got 30 days to move out. If you don't move out by 30 days, you lose your 10 grand. So that's really motivating for them to get the heck out on time. You never do post-possession without having a holdback, and it needs to be decent. Like you don't hold back $1,000, you hold back $10,000. Now, offering that's a big value add. And all it means for our buyer is they have to wait 30 more days to get possession of the property. 30 days is normal. A lot of cash buyers are fine with that. If you're going longer than that, it could become an issue when you go to wholesale it. So we still close in 3 weeks. So we have to come up with the total purchase price, or if we wholesale it, our buyer does. But then now they can't get into the property for 30 more days. So it's not the best situation, but very common. And you have to do it to get some deals. Like if you're not offering post-possession with people living in homes, you're going to have a real challenge with getting that deal done with the seller. It's such a big value add. Like honestly, she might take the deal just because we're offering that. And did you see what he said? He revealed that she's trying to buy a condo for around 100 grand.
Yeah.
So if she walks out of there after everything with 160-ish, she's going to have 100 grand, buy the next thing cash, and have 50, 60 grand to put in her pocket for her retirement.
Did he say he'll take a cut out of his commission?
Yeah, he's only getting 3% total.
Yeah.
For the whole thing.
Yeah. Huh.
And we're paying it. So if we wholesale this, we got to make sure our buyer knows, hey, it's a 160 purchase, but there's a $5,000 commission to the agent. So it's really 165. You couldn't have asked for a better agent. Like this guy wants to get the deal done and he wants to work with us. A lot of times you're fighting the agent. We're not fighting the agent on this. The agent's like, okay, help me out, guys. Yeah, help me out here. I'm listening. Help me make a compelling reason why the seller should take your offer.
I think I'm going to rewatch this 5 times.
Watch this again. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to rewatch this one 5 times too.
This is a good one to watch again. This was a great one because we went through the whole deal. We went through the comps, the value, the deal analyzer. Then we got back on and renegotiating